It's absolutely wild how fast things are moving in software development. I mean, it feels like just yesterday we were all blown away by an intelligent assistant that could just finish a line of code for us. But now, we're on the verge of agents that can build entire applications all by themselves. It's a massive leap, and honestly, the pace is just dizzying.
Right? And it's led to this thing people are calling vibe coding, which I think is just the perfect term. It's exactly what it sounds like. You talk to the intelligent assistant, it spits out some code, and you just kind of cross your fingers and hope it works. And hey, for a little experiment or a side project, that's totally fine. But when you're building something serious, for your job, hope just doesn't cut it. You need rock solid reliability.
Exactly. So if just vibe coding isn't the future for professional work, what is? I don't think the problem is the assistant itself. It's how we're using it. We've been treating these things like a superpowered autocomplete. But what if we started thinking bigger? What if, instead of just an assistant, we had a real partner? An autonomous agent that could tackle a whole project?
And that's not some far-off hypothetical question. It's the question driving this next wave of innovation. And right at the front of that wave is a project from Google called Antigravity. It's this really bold attempt to solve the two biggest hurdles with agent-powered coding: trust and, well, orchestration. How do you manage it all?
So let's break that down. What even is an agentic development platform? Okay, think of it like this. Right now, you're the chef in the kitchen, and your intelligent assistant is maybe your sous chef, helping you chop the vegetables. In this new agentic model, you're the restaurant owner. You just set the menu, and you have a whole team of autonomous chefs who can plan the recipes, cook the meals, and even do the cleanup after.
Okay, I love that analogy, but how does that actually look in practice? I mean, we've already got intelligent assistants sitting in the sidebar of our editors. How is this different? Well, Antigravity's approach is totally new. It has this dual interface. You still have your traditional editor view, right, for when you want to get your hands dirty and write the code yourself. But the real revolution is what they call the manager surface. This is where you literally become the conductor of an agent orchestra, handing out tasks and watching them all work together. That sounds amazing, but how do you actually trust an agent to build an entire feature without you looking over its shoulder the whole time? That's the magic trick. It's all about what they call artifacts. Instead of just giving you a boring wall of text in a log file, Antigravity's agents show their work. You get to see their to-do lists, their full implementation plans, and, get this, even screenshots and browser recordings of them testing the feature. It's like having a junior developer who gives you a perfect visual progress report every single step of the way. Wow. Okay, that kind of transparency is the missing piece. That's the difference between a black box you have to blindly trust and a glass box where you can actually see and understand what's happening inside. Yeah, and this isn't just some research paper. It's a real tool, and it's powered by some of the latest models like Gemini 3 Pro. Plus, it's available for anyone to try, no matter if you're on a Mac, Windows, or Linux. So Antigravity sounds incredibly powerful, but it also sounds like a big cloud-based platform. What about the rest of us? The solo developers, the students, or just anyone who really wants to keep their code on their own machine. Can you get that kind of agentic power without needing a massive cloud service?
Oh, for sure. The answer is a definite yes. And that brings us to our second pillar. And that's where a tool like TRAE comes into the picture. It's what we call a local first development environment, and it's built from the ground up for speed, affordability, and privacy. Looking at this comparison, you can see it's not really trying to go head-to-head with the giant cloud platforms. It's carving out its own unique space with a totally different set of priorities.
The whole idea behind TRAE is local control. When everything runs on your own machine, you get two huge wins right away: speed and privacy. There's no waiting on the network, so it is lightning fast. And because your code literally never leaves your computer, you have absolute control over your data. For anyone working on a sensitive project, that's a game changer. So what's the bottom line? Who is this really for? Think of TRAE like a sports car. It's incredibly fast, it's nimble, and it's a ton of fun to use. So if you're a solo developer, an indie hacker, or part of a small team, it's an amazing way to get a lot of power without the overhead. But, if you're a massive company with a whole fleet of delivery trucks, you're probably going to need something more enterprise-grade. Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about agents that help write application code, both in the cloud and locally.
But what about the code that runs behind the applications? I'm talking about the really complex and, let's be honest, often tedious work of managing infrastructure. For the people who basically live in the command line, is there an agentic future for them too?
The answer is a huge yes, and it comes in the form of our third pillar, Kiro. Kiro is an intelligent agent designed to live right inside your terminal and help you with all the nitty-gritty details of infrastructure management. Just imagine having a DevOps expert on call 24/7, ready to help with everything from spinning up a new server to debugging a nasty network issue. And this is the part that blows my mind. You can have this incredibly powerful agent up and running in less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee. I'm not kidding. It's one command to install, a quick login through your browser, and boom, you're ready to create your first agent. It is just that simple. So let's look at what Kiro can actually do. This is a real-world prompt. It's asking Kiro to create all the code to set up a full web application infrastructure. We're talking a load balancer, multiple servers, a database, the whole shebang. A human engineer could easily spend a few hours writing and debugging all of this. Kiro can do it in seconds. That is just unbelievable. The ability to generate that much complex, correct code from one sentence is a genuine leap. But wait, it gets even better. As you can see from this next prompt, you can then ask Kiro to write tests for the code it just generated. So it's not just a code generator anymore, it's basically your quality assurance engineer too. So let's pull back for a second. We've just looked at 3 totally different takes on agentic systems. You've got the huge orchestrated platform from Google, the fast local tool for individual developers, and the specialized expert for managing infrastructure. Each one is really impressive on its own, but when you look at them together, they point to something much, much bigger. This feels like a fundamental shift in how we relate to technology itself. It really is. We're stepping into what people are calling the agentic era. It's defined by these themes. Antigravity is all about orchestration and building trust. TRAE is focused on speed and making this power accessible to everyone. And Kiro is about deep specialization and automation. We're moving into a future where we'll be working alongside autonomous agents that can plan, build, and even test their own work. It's a future that's incredibly exciting and, yeah, maybe a little bit scary, but it's coming, ready or not. Exactly. So I'll just leave everyone with this one last thought. When an intelligent agent can do all of that, plan, execute, and verify its own work, is it still just a tool? Or is it becoming something more? A partner? A collaborator? Maybe even a teammate? And if it is, what does that really mean for the future of our jobs, our own creativity, and our entire relationship with the machines we build?